From winning championships to surviving near-death fiery crashes, these are some of the greatest F1 drivers of all time. Number 1. Juan Manuel Fangio. First up, we have Juan Manuel Fangio, an Argentine driver that performed in the golden era of Formula 1. He began racing in Argentina in 1936, driving his 1929 Ford Model A that he had rebuilt in his own mechanic garage. In October of 1938, he participated in his first tourism highway event as a co-pilot to racer Luis Finocchieti. The pair did not win the Grand Prix, but thanks to Juan driving most of the way, they finished in 5th place. A month later, he entered the 400 kilometers of Tres Arroyos, but the race was suspended due to a fatal accident. During his Argentinian racing years, Fangio raced primarily Chevrolet cars. He won the Argentine National Championship in 1940 and 1941. The 1940 Gran Premio del Norte, a punishing 10,000-kilometer rally stretching from Buenos Aires to Lima, challenged Fangio to endure extreme terrain, from scorching deserts to high-altitude mountain passes, dealing with car damage and life-threatening conditions. Despite these challenges, he won the race, marking his first significant win. Fangio outpaced Oscar Galvez the following year in Brazil's Grand Prix Getulio Vargas, a nearly 4,000-kilometer road race, solidifying his second Argentine TC championship. After a brief hiatus during World War II, Fangio resumed racing in the late 40s, securing several wins. Tragically, in 1948, during a Buenos Aires to Caracas race, a thick fog grew over the track. A few laps into the race, Fangio's car tumbled off a bend, fatally injuring co-driver Daniel Urrutia. Shaken and devastated, Fangio contemplated quitting, but rebounded, earning the Argentine Automobile Club's support to further his European career with a new Maserati. In the 1950s, Fangio was usually the oldest driver on the circuit of Formula 1. The conditions for racing at the time were nothing like today, with minimal safety features, narrow tires, and primitive gear. Helmets only became mandatory in 1952. These cars had no seatbelts, the front engine layout caused overheating, and drivers' faces were sometimes covered in soot by the race's end. But Fangio's racing genius made him a Grand Prix legend, comparable to Tazio Nuvolari. He wasn't tied to a team, frequently switching if he believed he would have a better opportunity to win. He often shared results with teammates if he took over their car during technical issues. Fangio's Grand Prix debut was at the 1948 French Grand Prix. After a brief stint in South America, he returned to Europe, dominating the Sanremo race in 1949. He secured 4 Grand Prix victories that year against other top drivers. During the first World Championship in 1950, Fangio joined Alfa Romeo, proving his skill by dodging a massive car pileup at the Monaco Grand Prix. That year, he had numerous wins and notable speeds on various circuits. In 1951, he clinched 3 more championship titles. Despite challenges, he finished ahead in the rankings. However, in 1952, after Alfa Romeo's withdrawal, Fangio rarely raced. His most significant setback occurred at Monza, where after a long, exhausting race, he crashed, resulting in multiple injuries, including a broken neck. As he recuperated in Argentina, Nino Farina, the race winner, visited him, presenting Fangio with the winner's laurel wreath. But while Fangio had the attention of the 1950s, the 1970s were dominated by another driver called Niki Lauda. Number 2. Niki Lauda. Niki Lauda was born on the 22nd of February 1949 in Vienna to a wealthy paper manufacturing family. He pursued a racing career against his family's wishes. Starting with a Mini, he quickly advanced through Formula V and drove private Porsche and Chevron sports cars. Facing no further career growth, he self-funded a position in the March team as a Formula 2 driver in 1971 by taking out a £30,000 loan. This decision intensified his rift with his family, leading to their estrangement. Promoted to March Engineering's Formula 1 team in 1972, Lauda showed promise, but the team struggled, notably at the Canadian Grand Prix, where both March cars were disqualified. By 1973, Lauda took another loan to rejoin the declining BRM team. Despite various challenges, his performance at the Monaco Grand Prix caught Enzo Ferrari's attention. When Lauda's teammate Clay Regazzoni returned to Ferrari in 1974 and praised Lauda, Ferrari signed him immediately, enabling Lauda to settle his debts. In the early 70s, Ferrari's performance improved with Niki Lauda's entry. By 1975, Lauda had won the World Championship for Ferrari. However, 1976 was marked by Lauda's severe crash at the Nürburgring, leading to several bad injuries. Incredibly, he returned to racing within weeks. That season, in a tight race with James Hunt, Lauda lost the championship by just 1 point. Tensions with Ferrari led to Lauda's early departure in 1977, despite winning another title. In 1978, Lauda joined Brabham Alfa Romeo, sponsored by Parmalat, with a $1 million contract. Despite 2 lackluster seasons, he won a big race in Sweden with the controversial Brabham BT46B fan car. Due to protests, the car was not used in Formula 1 again, but the victory remained official. His dissatisfaction with racing came at the 1979 Canadian Grand Prix, when he informed Bernie Ecclestone of his immediate retirement, focusing on his airline, Lauda Air. Lauda returned to Formula 1 with McLaren in 1982, with a remarkable $3 million deal. He immediately showcased his prowess by winning the Long Beach Grand Prix. The 1983 season saw McLaren transition to TOG-badged Porsche turbo engines. Although Lauda didn't secure a win, his tactics sped up the development of the new engine. In 1984, he narrowly beat teammate Alain Prost to claim his 3rd world championship, notably winning the Austrian Grand Prix, marking the only time an Austrian won the home race. Lauda's relationship with Prost was competitive but cordial, as both dominated the 1984 season. Despite being overshadowed in qualifiers, Lauda's strategic race in Portugal guaranteed his 3rd title. In 1985, rumors circulated about Lauda joining Renault, but he remained with McLaren. However, the season was tough, marked by multiple retirements. After announcing his 2nd retirement in the 1985 Austrian Grand Prix, he ended his F1 career that year. Lauda's final race was in Adelaide for the inaugural Australian Grand Prix. Leading at lap 53, he crashed due to brake failure on lap 57. And while Lauda's crash wasn't the reason for his career coming to an end, the same can't be said about Ayrton Senna. Number 3. Ayrton Senna. Senna was born on the 21st of March 1960 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He was born into a wealthy family with 2 siblings. Senna's early years were spent near an airport, and he was naturally inclined towards athleticism. Despite initial coordination challenges as a toddler, by age 4, he showed an interest in cars. By age 7, he learned to drive a Jeep on his family's farm and started racing go-karts at 13. Senna's academic journey included attending Colegio Rio Branco and a brief stint in a business administration college. He initially raced karts in Brazil, supported by his father and managed by Lucio Pascal Gascon. After winning the South American Kart Championship in 1977, he competed in the Karting World Championship until 1982. In 1981, Senna moved to England, where he got into single-seater racing, and claimed the Rack and Townsend Thorson Formula Ford 1600 championships. Despite momentarily retiring to appease his parents, he was lured back to racing in England. He took on his mother's maiden name, Senna, to stand out, and proceeded to conquer the 1982 British and European Formula Ford 2000 championships. By 1983, he competed in the British Formula 3 Championship, clinching the title after a heated season against Martin Brundle. Later that year, he won the inaugural Macau Formula 3 Grand Prix. In 1988, Ayrton Senna joined McLaren with Alain Prost's approval. Their rivalry led to many intense races over 5 years, but collaboration was key to staying ahead of teams like Ferrari. Senna won the 1988 championship by 3 points. The following year, tensions escalated. Despite Senna's multiple wins, Prost secured the 1989 title after a controversial collision in Japan. Senna was disqualified, later criticizing the FIA and its president Jean-Marie Balestre. Prost, unhappy with the team dynamics, left for Ferrari in 1990. In 1994, Senna joined the Williams team, sponsored by Rothmans International, with a $20 million salary. New regulations banned certain electronic aids, and Senna voiced concerns about his car's handling and predicted a risky season. Despite achieving pole positions, he didn't finish the first 2 races. In the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix at Imola, the F1 season's European leg began, where Senna anticipated a fresh season start. Tragedy struck during qualifiers. Senna's protege, Barrichello, had a severe crash, while Roland Ratzenberger died in another. Senna, devastated, considered retirement. On race day, a start line collision injured several spectators. On lap 7, Senna fatally crashed at Tamburello Corner. After the crash, a hidden Austrian flag was found in his car, intended to honor Ratzenberger's memory. Senna's death shocked the F1 community. It's almost eerie how the next driver on our list seems to be a reincarnation of Senna, and that flag predicted the new star of Ferrari. Number 4. Michael Schumacher. Born in Herth in 1969, Michael Schumacher's passion for racing began when he was young. His parents helped to foster his talent. He got his kart license at 12 and quickly ascended racing divisions, gaining accolades including German and European kart championship titles. His F1 career began in 1991, and he was praised for his driving skills, especially in wet conditions. Schumacher's fitness regimen, discipline, and leadership set him apart. Nicknamed Regenkönig, or the Red Baron, he played a pivotal role in popularizing F1 in Germany. Acclaimed by peers and successors, he's celebrated as one of F1's greatest drivers. In 1991, Schumacher debuted in Formula 1 with Jordan Ford at the Belgian Grand Prix. Despite initial setbacks, he quickly impressed and joined Benetton after a contract dispute with Jordan. During 1991 to 1995, he made significant strides, winning his first championship in 1994 amid controversies. Joining Ferrari in 1996, Schumacher transformed the team into F1 giants, facing rivals like Villeneuve and Hakkinen. In 2000, Schumacher clinched his third World Drivers' Championship and first with Ferrari, equaling Ayrton Senna's win record. By 2004, he secured a record 7th championship with 13 wins. In 2005, rule changes disadvantaged Ferrari, and Schumacher won only at the controversial US Grand Prix. Schumacher's career was filled with record-breaking achievements, occasional controversies, and undoubted skill. A Formula 1 driver's job isn't easy, but those who do it the best are cemented in history and will never be forgotten. Thanks for watching, and make sure to click on that like and subscribe button for more content like this in the future.